you and I were driving in the same parking lot my suite was. And I said, you know what, this would be an ideal place for a salon. There was a salon in the same shopping center. Now, this is actually a salon. I don't know, what did it have, 8 chairs? Mm-hmm. Drive by, and you're like, you should just go in there and ask them if they want to sell it. I'm like, they don't want to sell it. I knew because I was in sales that they had just opened 6 months ago. So I'm like, you're crazy. I am not going in there and asking them to buy their salon. And you're like, everything's for sale, you know, all this stuff. So that was just a little haha. That's the conversation. We go home, and I don't know why, because we hadn't talked about it. I didn't say I was going to buy a salon or anything like that. I pop on the internet and I'm looking at salons for sale. And that one was for sale. I knew exactly which one. They don't say the name of it just by location and all this. And I'm like, oh my gosh. That was the only salon for sale, but it was the salon that we had just talked about 2 days prior. And then what happened, Jeff?
Well, we bought it.
We did.
So we negotiated. It did end up being that salon.
Mm-hmm.
We negotiated a purchase, and this was exactly right when COVID started, basically. So we had closed, and within 30 days, the state of California basically shut everything down around us. So yeah, you had a couple clients from the salon where we got started, but we had kind of slowed the roll on that as we were trying to figure out our next move. And yeah, we just got shut down. And so again, we're back to gut it mode. And the crazy part is with the 0 clients, COVID shut us down. That did give us the opportunity to gut the place and make it beautiful. Mm-hmm. You scaled that salon so fast. Just every time California would reduce their shutdown for because we went back and forth where it'd be open for like a month, and then it was closed, and then it was open for 2 months, and then it was closed, and then it was open for a month. Like, we had these little staggers, but somehow we were able to build up in each of those openings, just maybe based on demand or people with, doing box color for the last year or whatever it was. But man, it just took off like crazy. And let's talk about that salon a little bit, I guess. What was your mentality on that one? So we went from the really large salon down to the suite, back up to an 8-chair salon. Mm-hmm. What were you thinking? I mean, I know what your vision was, but talk a little bit more about what you wanted out of it.
Well, I wanted my salon space back, right? Where I'm proud of the space that I have to bring my clients to. So that was number one. And also I like having a team. I like having at least a few stylists with me to feed off of. I think the energy is cool. I think clients like it. It's just, you're able to have more things or more luxury things for your guests too.
Right.
Because for one, you have more space, but also just you have more people there too to appreciate it, and it makes it worth it. But I really wanted a salon that I could be proud of, and I could grow a really good team, and but that was manageable. I have the 2 kids, so I don't want to go crazy this time. I'm gonna reel it down for 8 chairs, which seems crazy maybe to some, but for me that was totally manageable. And then COVID happened, like you said.
Right.
But this salon grew so fast. I don't know. I think, yes, maybe the demand was higher in some regards, but then I also think I came over there with some clients, but you lose them too because COVID happened. So some people are like, I'm not going to go in because even if they could, now they're not. Or they're going to grow their hair out, or they're going to do something different, or they're going to stretch their budget because maybe they're not working too. So
yeah, there's a lot of scenarios, especially in California.
Yeah. So maybe some people the demand was higher, but I think a lot of people too stayed home.
Yeah.
So I thought it was going to be really challenging. I remember the first shutdown, it was time to remodel. So it gave us a lot of time. So that we were actually a little bit thankful for it because we needed the time.
Yeah.
But then it just kept happening, and the clients just showed up.
Yeah. When
I was open, they would show up, they would call, but I think we got smarter too, or actually I know we got smarter. Our marketing got smarter. You're amazing at that. So all those pieces that we did. So when I did have clients, we just put it all together, and that's how we became really successful really fast.
Yeah. Well, and a thing to note, they shut us down. High rents in California, high lease.
Yes.
So we had the lease to pay while we were shut down. We had the overhead of completely building this thing out. And in each of those gaps opening, it basically turned it back around to a profitable salon in less than a year. I mean, that was crazy. And I always think back, you're like, I never want to open a salon in California. There's too much competition.
Yeah.
You know, and again, all these experiences that we had just made that confidence through the roof. Like, I don't think there was ever a second, besides COVID being just the craziest thing ever, that we were ever like, this isn't going to be a successful salon. I mean, we knew it, and we had a plan, and we had a strategy, and executed it perfectly into a wonderful salon. The only problem is we decided that we didn't want to be in California anymore. So you got a really profitable salon, and we decided we want something else. We want even more heat, so we moved down to Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yes.
Which is the location for Desert Blonde Salon. That's what we're in right now. What's different this time around? You know, as we kind of close out this initial, here's where we've been. This is salon number 5. What's different right now? What are the learnings that we're taking into this salon that we're ultimately going to talk about through the course of this podcast that you think are some of the most important topics that we're going to hit on?
I think staying really true to your brand is important. And I've learned something from every single salon. So my takeaway is just putting them all together now. And I don't need to work a million hours. I don't have to sit here all day long. I can specialize in what I actually am passionate about and what I actually care about. None of those things, I would not have done that before.
Yeah.
But I've learned that it's okay to do that, especially with marketing. And if you're good with your marketing skills, then you can have and make the salon schedule and the salon that you actually really want.
Right.
And you still can be really successful. You know, like you said, I grew that salon in California so fast. I mean, I would bring on new stylists and they're like, oh, I just want a clientele like you have. And I have to remind them, like, I've only been here for 6 months.
Right. And we were only open 2
And
of
I
them.
didn't have clients before that, you know?
Right.
So in their mind, they think that I just, you know, maybe the salon isn't new, or maybe I had a clientele that I transferred. I'm like, I don't live here. I was not from here. I did not grow up from here. I did not have a salon. I was in sales before this. So I didn't have a clientele to transfer over here. And I am so busy that I cannot take anymore, you know, in a short amount of time. So that was encouraging, I think, to them. And also just boosted us a little bit more too. Like, yeah, we got it nailed down now. Now we know exactly the key pieces that we need to do, and we can help others.
Yep. No, I think that's a very good point. And certainly you kind of mentioned what I think week over week, that's what we're going to talk about on the podcast. We now have a playbook for how we approach every business opportunity.
Right.
You talked about vision for what you wanted. That's always something big we talk about like crazy as we're starting to set up the next plan. So, you know, I really hope you all tune in with us week after week. We're going to start breaking down all of these different learnings that we've had in building out salons together, and you're going to drop all kinds of knowledge on the things that people need to be thinking about. And honestly, even more than that, just I think you have a different confidence level, and I have a different confidence level, and we want to inspire others to say, hey, I don't just need to rent a chair. I don't just need to have a salon suite or whatever. I can think bigger, and I can make it work for our life and our lifestyle. You're always talking about our kids, which we love spending time with.
Yeah.
That's a lot of your focus, right?
Yeah. And it should be anybody's focus, right? Like, those are the things that make me happy. And if I'm not with them, then I better be busy, you know? So it's like, be busy at work, do your job, make some money, make a lot of money, but then also get to go and spend all that time with your kids. They're only little once. And, you know, so we're trying to maximize both of it and juggle both. And I know we're doing the right things.
Yeah.